All right, guys, it's 16 months since my hair transplant in Turkey. So I had 3,500 grafts, 2,300 at the front, and then it was 1,200 on my crown. And since 2 weeks after surgery, I have been taking finasteride. So I wanted to do a bit of an update on my experience with finasteride, because that is kind of the most frequently asked question, really. What medications do I take and what side effects, if any, are there from finasteride? Now, for me, I've not experienced side effects really at all. Now, in the beginning, the first couple of weeks, I did develop a little rash on my chest. It wasn't an itchy rash, it was just something I visually noticed one morning. I think my girlfriend even pointed it out. And then it went down after a few days. So I didn't stop taking the pills. I have been on them consistently since August 2020. So it was 2 weeks after my surgery in July 2020. We're now 1st of December 21. So I have been on it for about 16 months in total. And that's the thing, because obviously I've had the hair transplant, particularly with the crown. How much finasteride has helped with that and makes the results look really good. It's one of those where I'm not sure. I do wish that I'd been on finasteride before surgery. It was only Dr. Balwi in Turkey at Elite Hair Transplant who told me I need to be on it. And then obviously since my transplant, doing further research, pretty much every doctor, every clinic will tell you you should be on finasteride. And the reason really is to prevent further hair loss. So where I've had the grafts at the front or even on the crown, you know, hairs around those areas, you know, the pre-existing hairs could still, you know, recede and go bald, whereas the new hairs that are implanted are kind of there for life. So what would then happen is you've got hair here, but then a patch like in the middle or on the crown. You know, there's a great video by the Darling Buds Clinic. An Indian doctor there talks about how, like, you know, sometimes it can then leave like an island where you've got the grafts, you know, you've got the hairs in the middle, but then around it is bald and it just looks weird. So that's why all clinics will recommend finasteride. So I take the 1 mg tablets, and I would say that for the first 12 months, you know, the first year, I really stuck to this religiously. I made sure every day that I remembered to take it. Whereas for the last 6 months, so since the 12-month mark, I have been a lot more relaxed. And I would say that I do miss days occasionally. Now, because I didn't experience any side effects, like, there's no reason why I shouldn't continue taking it every day. So I will try to, but I'm just not as strict with that. I still take at least 4 or 5 times a week. But yeah, I'm just not as strict with it, because I have heard people like cut the tablets up and take like half, you know, 0.5 mg, or again, just taking it 4 times a week as a way to reduce those side effects. But I didn't have any. So what are the side effects? When you read up on finasteride, and you know, in here it has like the little leaflet, they talk about rash being one of them, actually. So that's interesting that it was there, but like I said, it just came and went within days. The main ones, the big one for a lot of guys, is the libido and erectile dysfunction, that kind of thing. So I can honestly say that's not impacted me at all, you know. So whether I am a lucky one or whether it is such a small percentage of people who is affected, I don't know. I'm not here to promote people going on finasteride. I do think that obviously if you have had a hair transplant, you should be on it. But I think it's up to you, obviously. But do speak to your doctor, you know, the surgeon, about that. But I would say that for me, I'm going to continue on it for the next, say, 20 years to prevent further hair loss as recommended. So, you know, I appreciate that some people are scared of medication and that kind of thing. But if you're having surgery done, then it's important to continue preventing hair loss and making sure that your results are intact, you know. So I'm very happy with my results. And yeah, finasteride is something that's in here. It does mention, actually, so this is a key point, that if you are, you know, trying to have a baby, so if you're having sex unprotected with your girlfriend and, you know, something that impacts the semen could then impact on the baby. So it mentions if she's already pregnant or if you're trying for a baby, not to be on finasteride. So that would be the key thing. So I'm not in that position at all, but for people who are in that position, do your research on finasteride. I would say go for it. I think it's necessary. And I think people who were in my position of hair loss before I had my transplant, I think if you're in a similar position where you were like a Norwood 3, I would recommend you do it, particularly with the crown, to see if there is any kind of regeneration of hair, to see if you then don't need a transplant or you can put it off a bit further. So if you have had surgery, or in any case, if you are going to go on finasteride, I would say just get maybe 2 months worth, and yeah, basically don't invest in like a full year supply, get 2 months worth. And if there are any side effects, then you can cut it out. I think another one listed is like breast enlargement or something like that. Now, I've not been to the gym in a long time since the first lockdown. I am getting back into it soon. And I do carry weight in, you know, I'm a slim guy, like I'm a tall and skinny guy really, but I do carry weight in my belly and, you know, my chest. So I've not noticed any difference there at all. And yeah, it's down to my own laziness, the fact that I've not been to the gym in like, what, 18 months, even longer. I need to really pull my finger out there. So, but yeah, no side effects at all. I get them from an online pharmacy in the UK. It costs like less than £12 a month. So it really is, for me, something I'm going to continue with. Now, I did use Minoxidil, so Regain, which is the foam. So you spray it into your hand and then massage it. And that was something that was recommended by the clinic only for the crown, to help the crown grow. And they said to me to only use it for 12 months. Now, I recently actually had a consultation with a doctor at another clinic. I'm not going to go into too much information. Purely, it's just like getting feelers out there. If you've seen my videos, you know that I have been looking at the front of my hair and thinking, should I get it lowered a bit more? This side's a bit thin, so maybe I could get more density in here. So yeah, that's a possibility of something I would do, but right now I'm looking at it thinking my hair looks great, so yeah. But anyway, the doctor said to me, he queried why I then stopped using it. So for him, it's like you need to use it for life, basically. So I've not continued, I've not restarted it. I have stopped at 12 months. If you do think that my crown doesn't look as good, please do let me know. You know, the crown is, I'm a tall guy and I just don't see the top of my head. So it is one of those where I really don't know if my crown's looking as good as it was 6 months ago, or if I really need to start with this. I did actually use Regain before my transplant, like years before, and I didn't see any benefits of it at all. So I don't use Regain anymore. The only medications I use are finasteride. I do also take biotin. Now, I've had mixed reviews from people in the comments on this. Some people say it's a complete waste of time. It's just a simple pill that I take. The whole pack for the year cost me £8. So I'm just going to continue taking this until at least it's up. But again, the doctor I spoke to did say biotin is a good kind of alternative. So because I'm taking that, and I'm also taking vitamin D. So vitamin D deficiency can lead to hair loss as well, apparently. So, you know, I try and take this, obviously as well, fighting COVID. So I'd recommend everyone takes vitamin D. And that's pretty much it. You know, I'm not doing anything fancy in terms of shampoos. Again, I've been recommended certain shampoos, but when you look into them, they are very expensive. I use like a anti-dandruff shampoo and conditioner in one. That's basically what I'm using. And then I also have Nizoral, which is again is an anti-dandruff shampoo. It's got something in it as well that apparently is good for hair loss. And I only use that maybe once a month. So products wise, I'm trying not to use any products at all. Like right now, I've got nothing in it. So my hair naturally kind of curves over this way. And yeah, I'm actually going for my haircut really shortly. I'm going to get a haircut and beard trim. And a few people have asked me to get a skin fade. Now I'm 32, never had a skin fade. It's not really suitable for me really in my job. However, I am going to do it today because obviously we're close to Christmas and hair grows back. So I am going to get a skin fade so you guys can see what the donor area does look like when it is down to a zero. Because right now, once it grows, you know, a relatively long, I mean, it's still not even that long really, but once it's at a longer length, you really can't see any issues with it at all. It's only really when I've got like a number 1 or a number 2 that you can kind of see the patchiness on the back, which obviously is the real drawback of the hair transplant. You know, some people have said, like, is it a case of moving one problem, say from the front to the back, you know, moving a problem from one area to another? For me, I would say that the front of your head is the most important thing. And, you know, people are going to notice that a lot more. Not to say that, you know, that's obviously an issue with the technician led surgery. So clinics that are using technicians to perform, they're not going to be as skilled as some of the best doctors in the world, but that's what you're paying for. So that's something to consider, you know, when you are looking at clinics of what results you want to achieve, you know. So that is my 16-month update. So finasteride being the big talking point, I am still on it. Not experienced those side effects that some people do get. It is something I'll continue with, and yeah, as long as I, you know, don't see any changes in my hair, you know, in terms of more recession or whatever, then I'll be happy, because that's the point, isn't it? We all want, you know, a decent full head of hair. So I'm going for my haircut now. So what I will do is do another video when I come back, and I'll put that up as well for you as well. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you do check out my videos. I have noticed YouTube have put adverts on my videos, even though I want a partner of YouTube, so I don't get the money for it. So YouTube are essentially making profit on my videos, and yeah, so if you subscribe, then maybe I will be able to make profit on it myself one day. So see you guys later.